The name Elon Musk might remind you about Tesla, SpaceX, or even his recent bid to take control of Twitter. But something you might still be unfamiliar with could be the name Starlink. But it's not a completely new project, as it's already quite famous in some parts of the world. If you know anything about Elon Musk, then you surely know that he's a big space enthusiast, and to quench his thirst for conquering Mars, he created his own space exploration company, SpaceX. One of the byproducts of this process was Starlink. But what exactly is this Starlink? The problem: if you live in a city or a big suburb, you probably enjoy fast internet speeds. But imagine enduring internet speeds as low as 0.8 megabytes per second every day. What's worse, your home only has one or two internet service providers to choose from, leaving you stranded with crummy service. Unfortunately, people across the US and the globe are stuck in this very situation. Installing fiber in a city and bringing gigabit broadband to millions of customers is potentially lucrative, but not so much in a rural area home to only a few hundred people. An extraordinary solution. Enter Starlink. The subsidiary of SpaceX is a venture from Musk that aims to sell internet connections to almost anyone on the planet by way of a growing network of private satellites orbiting overhead. This satellite internet system is capable of delivering 150 megabytes per second internet speeds to theoretically any place on the planet. All the customer needs is a clear view of the sky. In the fall of 2020, the system began serving its first users, many of whom were based in remote or rural regions of America, and the response was enthusiastic to say the least. Upgrading the technology. But the thing is that satellite internet technology is not a new thing. It has been around for decades now. And because of that, there are already competitors for Starlink in this segment who do the same. So what makes Starlink different from the others? With this project, Elon Musk is looking to take the whole technology to a whole new level. For one, they use satellites that circle the Earth about 300 miles above the surface, compared to satellites placed 22,000 miles away from some competitors. Because of that relatively short distance, Starlink is currently delivering 50 to 200 megabytes in download speeds and about 30 megabytes in upload speeds, according to users. Meanwhile, latency comes at around 20 milliseconds, which is on par with ground-based internet. Over time, SpaceX plans on bumping up the download speeds to 300 megabytes per second. It also bumps the upload speeds to 40. It can be considered a huge upgrade compared to HughNet's satellite 25 megabytes per second connection. How does it work? From the satellite perspective, around 60 satellites can fit into one of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets, which take them to orbit. Once put in orbit, a single large solar array comes out to power the satellites. The central portion includes 4 powerful antennas for internet transmissions. Each satellite relies on a set of lasers to connect with 4 others in orbit. SpaceX started launching Starlink satellites in 2019, and as of September 2022 has launched more than 3,000 satellites into low Earth orbit. Then on Earth, all you need to do is set up the Starlink dish, which receives the signal and passes the bandwidth onto the router. The Starlink dish is self-orienting and connects quickly as long as it has a clear view of the sky. What's the cost? After a price increase, Starlink currently costs $110 a month. You'll also have to pay a one-time $599 fee for the Starlink satellite dish and Wi-Fi router, which the company will ship to your home. Yes, it is expensive, given the speeds are not up to the level of fiber connections. But people who have no means of a good internet connection in rural areas will find this cost worth it for what they get. Project on development. Starlink says that it now offers service in 32 countries across the world, though the budding broadband provider still faces a backlog of prospective customers waiting to receive shipment and start service. The growing customer base is having an impact on its performance lately. Starlink's upload speeds also slowed across the globe in Q2 of 2022, while latency remained relatively flat. Starlink's ultimate final goal is to cover the planet with over 42,000 satellites, and that's the thing bothering many astronomers. In 2019, the International Astronomical Union released an alarm-sounding statement warning of unforeseen consequences for stargazing and the protection of nocturnal wildlife. The satellites being placed in low orbit become visible in the night sky. Starlink's now working on several new designs for their satellites specifically designed to reduce the reflectivity and visibility in the sky. A bright future? Starlink could be a really good solution to provide the internet to people all over the world, and the prices may come down a bit with a large number of people starting to use the service in the near future. The company's long-term goal is to eventually operate thousands of satellites, paving the way for download speeds of 1 gigabytes per second and then 10 gigabytes per second. However, Starlink's service is also a work in progress. Right now, they're working on making their service available on all continents. So what are your thoughts about Starlink? The comment section is all yours. I'll see you another time in another video. Stay in the loop.